There are some huge matchups across the Big Ten in college football on this Saturday. USC and Illinois, Ohio State's at Washington. Yes, we'll talk Oregon and Penn State, and of course, Indiana and Iowa. Let's make some picks across the Big Ten on this college football Saturday.
You are Locked On Hoosiers, your daily podcast on the Indiana Hoosiers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
It's the best time of the week. We get to make our official game picks for all of the matchups in the Big Ten. And as far as I can see, no Friday night matchups this week. We've finally getting off that train a little bit. A couple of teams on a bye. And so we're able to squeeze them all into Saturday morning, afternoon, and evening. Let's work top to bottom here. Let's go noon on Fox. It's number 21 USC, number 23 Illinois. As Southern Cal trying to stay undefeated, they are going to Illinois, having to pick themselves off the mat with a bunch of injuries here. USC or Illinois, Zach, who gets it done and why?
Illinois is in really a tough spot. So if you've been watching that team closely between targeting calls and just missing starters already, I don't like this matchup for USC strictly from this is just, is this abuse at this point? with Fox putting Utah and Texas Tech, a local 10 a.m. kickoff at big noon. And now you're doing this again where this is a 9 a.m. game for USC. This is really, like I said, I think it's abuse by the TV networks. I'm going to go with USC for the sake of, now Brett Bielema, if he calls this game to a T, the coaching can win this. If they play some 4D chess here, and I think Brett Bielema is capable of it, this one's going to go down to the wire. Does USC have enough into the tank? I would like to think so. I would like to, because when I look at the staff and what Lincoln Riley has built, I say they have enough. This is a veteran experienced team. It is going to be close, even though Illinois may or may not be missing some star key players, but I will still go USC to sneak away with a victory. But it's very likely that Illinois could win this game.
You said the key word, and even if Illinois is still banged up, we'll see what the official injury reports look like closer to kickoff. But yeah. I think coaching is the word here. And frankly, I think Brett Bielema is a better coach than Lincoln Riley, just plain and simple. I think he is. I think he's a better in-game coach. He's a better decision maker, and he's not as much of a hothead at times. I'm taking Illinois to bounce back, pick themselves up off the mat as 6.5-point underdogs as we record this episode. I like Illinois to win and pull off a major upset. We'll do quickly right here. Rutgers, Minnesota. I'll take Rutgers to pull off the upset. Why? I don't know. No reason other than give me another upset on the road.
I need to keep up more with Minnesota, so I am willing to admit my ignorance when it comes to the Golden Gophers. I was not high on them coming into the season. Is PJ Fleck flirting with the UCLA job at this point in time? So there are some other external factors or internal factors that we do not know about surrounding this Minnesota team. But I like Rutgers. What I saw, Iowa's committing holding, pass interference left and right in that game against Rutgers. That offense is legit for the Scarlet Knights. Kirk Shirako was a one-and-done offensive coordinator at Penn State. Those were the Zoom meetings and everything because of the COVID season. The dude is a quarterback whisperer. Ethan Kaliakmanis, are you kidding me? Ethan Kaliakmanis looks like a top 5 quarterback within the Big Ten. I mean that. I am not trying to over-exaggerate. Go watch the tape against Phil Parker, legacy defensive coordinator at Iowa, and how Rutgers was able to tear the defense apart. If it wasn't for some and it was egregious. I thought the refs did a terrible job in that game. They call that game fairly. Rutgers probably wins. I will take the upset here with Rutgers winning.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I just didn't like what I saw from Minnesota when they played Cal, who beat Minnesota by 2 scores, and then Cal turned around and got blanked by San Diego State. That kind of told me everything that I needed to know. So I like Rutgers to go on the road, and I'm with you, pull off the upset and win this game. We continue moving down our picks for this week in the Big Ten. I'm telling you, this is the sneakiest game on the slate. It's the number 1 ranked team in the country. The Ohio State Buckeyes go all the way out to Seattle. They walk into Husky Stadium mid-afternoon and take on an undefeated Washington Huskies team. I'll go ahead and give you my pick. I think Ohio State wins, but Washington's going to give them everything that they want and cover an 8.5-point spread, according to our friends at FanDuel. Ohio State will win, but Washington has the athletes to keep up just one-on-one, man for man. You're talking about a quarterback, a receiver, and a running back that Washington have that I think are up there for the best in the country with anybody, including the Ohio State Buckeyes. Husky Stadium's hard to play in, man, and that crowd is going to be electric. I'm with you. I wish this was a night game. I wish it had a chance to just have that extra juice that it deserves. But regardless, Washington will give them everything they want. And the public thinks the same thing. This opened up at 13.5 for the Buckeyes, all the way down to 8.5. Give me Ohio State to win, but Washington to cover.
See, if Matt Patricia was able to do what he did against Arch Manning and Texas and Steve Sarkisian,
that's fair.
I got to imagine that it's going to be similar. It's going to be a similar workup against Damon Williams. I don't know that he's, you could make the argument that he's better than Arch Manning and that Washington just has it figured out and stuff like that. So that's how you got to compare it. Okay. Yeah. Arch Manning versus Damon Williams, Texas's offense against Washington's offense, Texas's coaching staff against Washington's coaching staff. This is an away game. Ohio State's got to go through the travel, which is why I think people are really factoring in. And hey, from a point spread, okay, these are legitimate. You can put points in favor of Washington here. But I just think it's one coaching staff, it's one experienced coordinator versus another. I think the line's moved enough where I think Ohio State still wins by double digits. I was thinking something like 31-20, something like that, 31-21, where it's still. I think Ohio's and Washington just does not have a defense. They don't. Yeah. I think that even if Ohio State struggles a little bit because of the jet lag, the defense is going to set them up with opportunities. I don't know how Washington it could get out of control. I'll trust the Buckeyes here to cover and win comfortably.
Today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers is brought to you by Mazda's moving the game forward. For those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it. There are moments that do more than put points on the board. They move crowds, they move culture, and keep moving the game forward. This week's moment that moved the game forward is D'Angelo Pons' punt block in return for a touchdown. You could also pick just the bounce back play from the defense. How about 7 sacks, right? For the Indiana defense, also had an interception in there as well. I mean, you really just got to do it all if you were this Indiana football team a week ago against Illinois, and you're going to have it this weekend against the Iowa Hawkeyes. And so you got to have moments that move you forward. You got to have moments that really change the game for you and your team, and you can do that as well by driving a Mazda. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning, and just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved. Today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers is brought to you by DoorDash. It's almost the weekend. Time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time that you order. These players delivered when it matters most. Let's break it down. And is it too easy to say that it's Fernando Mendoza? Is it too easy to say that he was one of the main reasons that you just absolutely stomped on Illinois last week inside of Memorial Stadium for a guy that went, 21 of 23, 267 yards, 5 passing touchdowns for Fernando Mendoza? Man, we'd love to see him do that again against Iowa, wouldn't we? He was absolutely the guy that delivered for Indiana, and DoorDash delivers on Saturdays. With DoorDash Streaks, you save every Saturday that you order. Stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday, keep the streak alive, and fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period runs through November 18th. Today's episode of Locked On Hoosiers is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade. 5-Hour Energy shots deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 crashes. What I love most is how portable that they are. Big taste and a tiny shot. You can take it anywhere and get that boost when you need it. I'm not lying when I tell you, when I'm calling games or going to do my radio show or just working at the office or even working here at home, I have them everywhere, in my backpack, in my desk drawer. I keep them in my car. I always want one just in case for Friday night lights, or maybe that Tuesday night basketball game, or staying up late doing some podcasts for you. 5-hour energy shots are quick, they're easy, and I'm telling you, they really do give me the boost that I need. So enough with the boring, flavorless caffeine. It's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5-hour energy shots. Get the favorite you love, or be bold and try something new in store and online at www.5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today. We move on to a game in Iowa going into Kinnick Stadium. It's Indiana on the road for the first time this season.
What do we know about this team? What do we know? We don't know. We don't know jack about them.
I don't know. I did a lot of research before I hopped on this recording today. I just want to remind people that Indiana went on the road for the first time last season, went all the way out to Los Angeles to the mighty Rose Bowl, and just demolished a UCLA team who was not good, by the way. And the stadium is obviously not all that impressive either. But Indiana went on the road and handled business. And so do I give my pick? Am I allowed to pick this game, or is that like a conflict of interest here, Zach? I don't know.
No, it's not. And honestly, Indiana fans are pretty accurate, because I saw the consensus score was 70-0 against Illinois last week. That was the consensus prediction. And y'all were right. Y'all were spot on, because I saw Sonny, our good friend Sonny over at Locked On. I can't believe everyone's picking Illinois to lose 70-0. Am I crazy? Yeah, you were the crazy one, honestly. So I am going to take your prediction with Indiana here very seriously.
Yeah, I do. I think Indiana wins. I think Indiana will win comfortably. I'm not predicting 63-10. I think that's a crazy idea to predict that, but Indiana's good enough to do something similar. I like this game to be gross early, Indiana to just pull away. Look, I was not built to come back against good teams. I know they did it a week ago, but they can't do it against the Indiana defense like we saw last week. Indiana's offense is too potent. I think it's too good. I think it's too talented. They can't keep up with Fernando Mendoza and the guys on the outside. I like Indiana to win this one. I like 38-21, if that. I think 38-17 is a real possibility here too. I like Indiana big.
I will take points. I'm going to take you up on that and say that I'm buying into Iowa's offense. I just think people, the analysts, the expanded personnel, like, people don't consider these things. And Iowa, for what it's worth, I know everybody wants to dunk on them that they can't, quarterbacks are bad, they don't know how to throw to wide receivers, throwing stones over here in a glass house, right? But Iowa figured it out schematically on offense to where they improved. And they are respectable, and they can get into shootout type of situations. Now, Indiana's defense is much better than Rutgers' defense, so there is that. But I will take points here. Could I see it being close? But I feel like Iowa's going to be playing from behind a lot of the time. And Mark Gronowski is not wholly inaccurate, even though they can move the football, but he's not going to be able to will them to victory with his arm. It takes a lot of dual threat type of stuff. So, but I'm expecting points. I would say something like 35-24 Indiana.
Okay, our boy Zach Seiko picking the Indiana Hoosiers. We're going to pick Oregon-Penn State in just a moment, but, I mean, we got to take enough time that is due here. For an 0-3 UCLA team.
Why not? We'll talk about that game for 10 minutes.
I mean, UCLA coming off a bye, new head coach. I mean, what could go wrong, right? What could go wrong for UCLA on the road at Northwestern, a stadium that holds 6,000 people? Northwestern, almost a touchdown favorite. Tell me the last time Northwestern was favored by a touchdown over a P4 opponent. I'll wait.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I can't believe I'm seeing 6.5 points, and it's because I can't believe I'm not seeing 10.5 points or more than that.
Yeah, I think Northwestern wins big. I think Northwestern's not all that bad. They've just had 2 tough games out of the gate. I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't see with the travel. If this was at UCLA, I'd probably reconsider. You could say the motivational factor. Hey, let's prove the doubters wrong. This is not the game to do that, because Northwestern always feels like it has a chip on its shoulder, and for good reason. But that's the way they play, right? That's their mantra. That's their signature of football. Northwestern's a physical team. They can run the football. I don't see how UCLA makes this a game, and I think Northwestern wins by double digits.
Yep, I like it there. Okay, game of the week, game of the year, according to Zach Seiko. Number 6, Oregon. Number 3, Penn State. It's the whiteout. It's in Beaver Stadium. It's in Happy Valley. The entire country will have this on their television sets. Tell it like it is, my friend. It's Oregon-Penn State. Our friends at FanDuel have the Nittany Lions as 3.5-point favorites in this football game. Who wins and why?
All right. The books are sharp with this one. I think this is because the books have this at 28-24 Penn State, roughly, give or take.
Okay.
Because that's the football scores. What is it going to be, 28-25? No, probably not. But that's how I see it, as this is a game that, hey, a field goal, or if you're held to a field goal, that very well might be the difference. When you needed to go and finish in the red zone and you're held to a field goal, that's going to be kind of the difference here. I do like a little more points. I think Penn State, having the extra week to prepare, and a sluggish first early start through the non-conference slate, but they brought back. Am I just supposed to completely sell out on this veteran team, all the stars that they brought back? All right, so be it. Everybody else has. I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy into what everybody's selling. Penn State brought back this group. Andy Kotelnicki stayed. They brought Jim Knowles in. Jim Knowles cracked the code on Will Stein's offense that second time around. This is at Beaver Stadium. We want to talk about jet lag and teams flying across the country. That stuff matters. Yep. I will take Penn State. It will be close because I really like what Oregon has done. I'll say 31-27, Nittany Lions.
Look, I think Oregon has played extremely well this year, and I don't think there's any denying that. Has the competition been all that great? No, not really, right? Oklahoma State, Northwestern, and Oregon State, those will be the worst teams they play on their schedule all season. But I am a believer in Dante Moore. I think he's a extremely talented. I think he's the real deal. But I think Penn State's atmosphere is legit. I think Penn State's defense is legit. And if Drew Aller and that offense can just kind of get going, right? Get out of that rut, especially in the first half, right? I know you've talked so much about that. Get off to a good start at home. I think Penn State does. Oregon will have some responses in there, and they're too talented of a team not to. But I like Penn State to win this football game. I like 27-20 Penn State. I like the Nittany Lions to win, and I like the Nittany Lions to cover as well. And in terms of playoff implications, really quick before we go, Seiko, winner is obviously on their way to making it. The loser's not out, right? We're not going that far.
No, 3 losses is if you can get in with 2 if you are any of Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon. Now Indiana is included in that. But does that conversation extend to a Michigan, a USC? And it might. That was our conversation earlier then. But 2 losses doesn't doom you or anything. It's that 3rd loss that is detrimental. So don't lose 3 if you're one of these 5 schools that we've named.
Indiana plays Iowa. Penn State plays Oregon. We'll both go live on our respective channels, have all sorts of shows and content and things for you. So make sure you are subscribed to Locked On Hoosiers on YouTube, Locked On Nittany Lions on YouTube. Of course, you can find both of our shows wherever you get your podcasts on your audio platforms as well. Hit the notification so you never miss a new episode. And our everydayers, we appreciate you. We are back for normal episodes tomorrow and another crossover next week, as we do each and every week, talking all things Big Ten. So until next time, Hoosier and Nittany Lion fans, stay safe, and we'll talk to you later.